Foundation, coming on the show to talk about the secret network. Now you can see the secret network asset profile on the Staking Rewards website, where you can check out the reward percentage and all their validators. But just to introduce a little bit more about what Staking Rewards actually is. So you can find the website stakingrewards.com. You can also follow us on social media at Staking Rewards, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, you name it, we have it. We are the leading data provider for staking and crypto growth tools. So we currently track 218 yield-bearing assets on the website and over 11,000 qualified providers. So it's really the industry-leading data aggregation site for all things staking and yield related. So you can see here that we do list a number of the top assets that you're familiar with, and you can filter these by staked value, market cap, however you'd like. The homepage is a great way to just get a general overview of what the site contains. We also have a lot of lending providers, custodial, decentralized, you name it, any type of lending provider, we're tracking that information on what they're offering for yields for the assets they service. And if you're a lending provider watching this, feel free to reach out to Staking Rewards and inquire on getting listed on our site. A lot of opportunities for you here. And I just want to show you guys, we also have an aggregate listing for all providers. So you'll see here, this is a list by staked value. So obviously, every asset that a provider services has some sort of stake value associated with it in the sum of the asset under management. You can see the rankings here. So Binance, Everstake, Moonstake being the top guys by stake value. Let's not forget about our friends at All Nodes and Midas Investments as well. If you want to get deeper into a profile, you can just click on one of the asset profiles itself. There's a lot of great features here. Outside of all the social links, support chats, Telegram links, you can also find price charts and revenue charts related to staking revenue. You can also see the percentage of participation. So this is in regards to the total engaged balance divided by circulating supply. So how much of the circulating supply is engaged in staking? Great metric to have there. Staked value is sort of like our market cap calculation. So staked value is all those tokens involved in staking times the price of the token. Great metric to measure a network's staked value by. You can also see the reward percentage. If there is a unique way that we calculate reward, we always try to add a tooltip here that explains how we get this APY. A lot of the assets have different uniqueness to them. Basically, all the assets do. So you definitely want to read these tooltips. We have risk and complexity ratings, which are chosen by our team of experts here that do the research and basically decide if this is going to be a easy project for you to stake or a more risky left to the professional kind of project. Professional might mean that you need a higher grade software or more tokens to actually begin staking. So we can go into more details on those ratings with the tooltips as well. And then we also have this great breakdown here of the calculator where you can basically estimate what kind of yield you can expect from participating in the staking of these ecosystems. So here we're talking about Binance Smart Chain, obviously. A lot of you might not even know that you can stake your Binance Smart Chain, your BNB, BSC coin. So you can kind of estimate that here. You can put in the amount of dollar that you have to stake, the time frame, what you're doing. So we have different staking types. We have delegate BNB and run a validator for this here. You could also lend BNB. So there's a lot of custodial lending providers. You could do that as well. You could toggle on and off the compound button, and you can kind of see the yield curve grows exponentially when you have the compound on. And then you can even get a little bit deeper here. You have other tabs. So if you click on the trading view tab, it actually brings up a trading view chart where you can fully get into the chart with all the charting tooling that you would have on a traditional trading view website. So very cool to have that. We also have these related asset cards that you'll see below all this information. So these are, we have an algorithm that sort of picks up related assets to the one that you're viewing. Getting even deeper, we go over to the metrics tab and we can learn a little bit more about the asset itself. So we can look at different metrics like circulating supply. In Binance Smart Chain case, the BNB that's on Binance Smart Chain, we have that metric. The total staked amount compared to the available supply. And if there's anything in addition, such as the amount of daily transaction fees generated by the protocol, we have those pieces of information here as well. So really great information available on the asset profile page. You have the Earn tab, the Trading View tab, and the metrics. We also want to get the advanced calculator. So this is a really cool feature here. So we showed you the calculator on the asset profile page, but there's also an advanced calculator where you can sort of adjust the total percentage of tokens being staked and see what your percent, how this would affect your return. So obviously the less tokens being staked, the way higher potential return that you could have here. And just tick on that compound button and yay, you're rich. As we like to see here, little Easter eggs hidden throughout the website. So let's see if you can get into these advanced calculators and trigger that Easter egg. Getting into what a provider profile looks like. So we mentioned earlier that we take care of over 11,000 providers on the site. This is a great example. Swissborg lending provider here. They're a custodial lending service. They really have taken full advantage of all the new features that we've installed on the provider profile pages on the website here. I'll go into these in detail. So you see here they have 42 reviews at this point, most of them 5 stars. They have over 31 people liking them. They're a claimed profile, and they're also a verified provider. So verified provider is something where our team does additional checks to ensure that these providers are on the utmost of the up and up, right? So we do the filtering process ourselves by asking additional questions and asking for additional verified information, such as how they handle security setup and things of that nature. So if you see a verified badge on any of these provider profiles, you can basically know that the Staking Rewards team has done thorough due diligence researching into these providers. We show all the assets they service, whether or not they're lending or staking assets. In Swissborg's case, these are all lending and custodial. You see the rates, which you can lend the asset and earn. You see the amount of stakers that are participating in those assets on their platform. And then you see the staked value. And that's what we have summed up in this chart in the upper right-hand corner, users and staked value. So very interesting metrics there. Now, getting into some of the features, if you have a question that you want to post on these provider profiles, you can just type that in right here. So for an example, it would be, how much can I earn lending ETH? Right? So you could ask a question like this, post your question. And the really cool thing about Staking Rewards is we have our own loyalty program where users can earn the Hearts token, which is native to stakingrewards.com. So for me, I just made this post here. Let's say it's a useful post, a useful question. A lot of users upvote this question. Well, I'm going to actually earn some Hearts tokens for doing that because I'm contributing positive content to the website here. So as this gets upvoted, I would earn more Hearts. If someone came over here and answered this question and it was found to be a useful answer, well, then they themselves could earn Hearts as well. So what I want for everyone watching to do is come on to stakingrewards.com, visit some of these provider profiles that maybe you've interacted with before or you're thinking about interacting with, post some questions and see if we can get some quality Q&A going on these profiles. Secondly, we also have reviews. Once we get past the Twitter section here, so if they had any Twitter feed or Medium blog feed, we would have that in this section, but there's also reviews. So of course you want to know, in the age of Yelp, right? Everyone wants to know what other people think and their experience is when interacting with an entity like a lending provider, right? So we've created this really cool feature where users can come in and give a 5-star rating, a 1 to 5-star rating, and select exactly which assets they used with these providers. So let's say they lent USDC coin, they could select this coin, and then they could begin filling out the review here once they select how many stars they want. And as we see here, there's been a ton of reviews for the Swissborg profile. We're really grateful that Swissborg has had their community come on and review here. So if you're a lending provider watching this feed, I challenge you to get your community to come on Staking Rewards onto your lending provider profile and start reviewing your service that you had. Very cool. So another thing I want to touch on is basically, we have 218 assets here on stakingrewards.com. A lot of the assets are so unique. They have their own different metrics or their own different calculator functionalities, right? So you really want to dig deep into these asset profiles because you never know what you're going to find. In the case of ThorChain, we have some really cool custom features here. So everyone familiar with the ThorChain ecosystem will know this incentive bar, right? So this incentive bar might look very familiar to you. So it's the current percent of Rune with node operators. And obviously we want to see it around an optimal number. So this is a good way to monitor the incentives of the network and sort of make a decision on if you should bond your Rune as a node operator or if you should deposit your Rune as a liquidity provider. You can also see all the normal metrics that we went over before on the Binance Smart Chain asset profile. And then we also have this Moon scenario tab, which is unique to Thorchain as well. So again, you never know what you're going to find on these profiles. Moon scenario is basically a way to estimate the price of Rune based on the expected price of assets under its umbrella. So BNB, BTC, ETH, and then the expected amount of these assets that are locked in the Thorchain protocol. And you'd be able to estimate, it's basically a price simulator, right? So you're able to estimate the price of Rune based on what the price of these underlying assets are that are wrapped in the protocol and how much of them percent of overall float is locked in the protocol. So very cool to see. Lastly, we talked about hearts a little. I just want to let you guys know that you should really want to earn these hearts. So this is the reward token for the platform, the loyalty token. So every time you log on the website, every day, you get 10 hearts. So it's an incentive to keep coming back every day to keep earning these hearts. And you might say, what can you do with them? Well, at this point, they're not a cryptocurrency token, but who knows? A wise man might say down the line they could be. You can do some, they have some utility right now, all right, as is. So you could redeem them for a beanie, a sweatshirt. We have different partner discounts that you can utilize for your heart redemptions. And, you know, most excitingly, we have a community vote feature where we just introduced this last month, and we had Free Ton win the community vote with over 15,000 weighted heart votes. So we use a quadratic voting equation to make sure that, you know, people can't just game the system by creating a lot of new accounts and vote for the asset. So keep, you know, pay attention to this vote section. We will have another community vote coming up soon in the next week or two. So it will give you, you know, a voice to be heard when we have a decision to make on the next asset that will be listed on Staking Rewards. So that's it. That's a brief introduction to Staking Rewards. I hope you guys are able to go on stakingrewards.com and get a little deeper into what we have to offer for assets and provider information. And if you are an asset not currently listed here, we'd love to talk to you. Please reach out to us. You can find us on Twitter, Telegram. You can reach us at info@stakingrewards.com. And we would love to start the listing process with you guys, and as well as providers as well. So if you're a lending provider that you see your data is not totally accurate on the site, or you need something updated, or you're not even listed, well, feel free to reach out to us as well. We'd be happy to list you and start enabling all these great features on the site for you. So again, this website is stakingrewards.com, and you can find us on social media at Staking Rewards. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and stay tuned for Monday. We have that upcoming episode of Staking Mondays with Bair coming soon. So that'll be about midday Eastern time on Monday. Look forward to that, guys. Until next time, take care.